Hello world, welcome back to Cultural Colloquy. I'm James Morgan, for those who are new here. If you're returning, thank you. And today's guest, I met doing a creative project of mine. And you know, when she submitted her self-tape for this, she looked completely different, but I was just impressed with how she just portrayed, the role and, presented herself. But anyways, we could get right into it.
Okay.
First, I would like to start, what's your name and what would you say got you to where you are today?
My name is Veronica Cedeno, and what got me where I am today, specifically here, I'd say movies. Definitely movies. Movies made me want to act. Acting moved me out here. It got me to get your audition and this interview for sure.
And as far as creatively, so you said movies got you here creatively.
Yeah.
Is there any specific movie that?
There was the movie It from 2017 was the movie that, because I grew up I was a dancer, like a professional dancer, and I was supposed to go in that career path, and I didn't really think about anything outside of that for my entire life. And when I saw that movie, I was like, oh, kids can do this and it can be fun. It didn't really occur to me before then. So that movie was the first time it kind of just clicked in my brain. And I have a bunch of movies that are sort of inspiring in terms of my acting, but I love, probably my favorite movie is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Have you seen it? Yeah, me too.
Powerful movie.
Yeah, very good performances too.
No, that's really cool. So you like more horror type of movies or?
It varies because, I do like horror movies. I wouldn't say Eternal Sunshine. Oh, because of It.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually do like horror, but I feel like I'm missing too many of the classics to call myself a horror fan. I've never seen Halloween, and I just recently watched Scream.
Okay.
So I'm missing the very first one.
Oh wow.
I literally watched it in October of last year. So yeah, but I do like horror movies, and it is not that scary.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? It's pretty great. It's a pretty great movie.
I'm scared of clowns.
Oh.
But now they all know.
Yeah.
I'm scared of clowns. That was a secret. But anyway, what does culture look like to you?
Just people. For me, culture is kind of it's something that I find pretty prominent in my life, or at least my perception of it, because I'm from a lot of different cultures, I guess. So I'm half black. My family's Venezuelan, but I was born here in America. Half white. So Afro, Latino, Hispanic. I feel there's a lot of cultures where I sort of, some of them come that I'm effortlessly a part of, and then others feel a little bit more work to understand, I guess. Definitely, I'm half black, but I'm not African American. I'm Afro Latino. So but I was born here, so the culture of black people here in America is not something that comes from my family. But I still kind of feel at home in some of it, and I should feel that, but it does feel a little bit there's a learning curve. There's a lot of space for learning, and I think it's a pretty great thing, when you have a lot of places that you feel at home in, I guess.
Yeah. Is there any one place you'd say you feel most at home? Or any culture, I should say.
I feel they all feel a little distant in some way, because if I'm in Venezuela with my family, I wasn't born there. I'm not from there. And so I guess like when I'm back home in Miami, just because that's where I grew up, and yeah, definitely, because like in Miami you'll pretty much have to speak Spanish the whole time. Everybody speaks Spanish there, but everyone's still from there. So, and I'm also from there like everybody else. So yeah, definitely when I'm back home.
Oh, that's cool. So you would say like you've built like a culture. Yeah, I mean, I guess since you grew up there, you're from there. Like you have a pretty solid, you would say, like community. I guess you would say, like friend groups and family that live back there. Or
Yeah, I'd say friends, probably not. I actually have, my friends are like all scattered across the country now, but definitely family. My family's kind of big, and it's too big that there's some of my family in Venezuela. Some people I've never even met, but I have a pretty good amount of people back home in Miami, and yeah, I've actually never thought about it, but it does feel like a community and at home when I'm there. I mean, because it is home, of course, but yeah, it does feel like that.
what do you feel like your place in culture is?
My place, I feel like I feel responsibility being a part of minority groups, people of color. I feel like I don't ignore that side of what comes from that culture, which is pretty prominent. So yeah, I definitely feel like a responsibility to continue to like identify with the groups that I'm a part of, as well as, all the things that are going on, being at least educated. Yeah, but it's hard for me to like talk about any culture where it's people of color and not mention, or at least not think about first and foremost what they're going through and how I experience it too.
No, I understand. Yeah, I definitely feel like, especially being like the younger generations and seeing like all the generations before us, like take actions and take steps, and some take action, and not take steps. It's like we kind of are in this like almost weird middle place of, we're not only solving our own problems for this generation, but like past generations problems, still dealing with those. So it's a weird place.
I feel like I agree, we're like in the middle ground. The way I see it, I hope that in like 100 years, if we even have a planet, if it's livable, sustainable, if it is, at least I see it as a lot better, but we're in that like middle point.
Definitely. Well, besides, you mentioned dancing earlier. Like, do you still dance?
No, my mom owned a studio when she opened it when I was, I think, like 7. And she was a dancer when she grew up, so she opened the studio, and I danced in that studio. I danced when I was 4, and we just went for like competing. We were like big studio in Miami, and I actually didn't like it at all. I really hated it, especially like towards the end. The more serious it got, the more pressure was applied. The older I got too, the joy kind of was sucked out of it. But so I didn't like it at all. But I felt there was just like nothing else that I had ever done. I never even thought about other career paths, like I said earlier. So there was a point where, and also I wasn't allowed to quit because I was, it was my mom's studio, and I was like, whatever. So yeah, I didn't until I entered high school, and it took so much convincing, but eventually I got like away from it, and I haven't danced since I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I asked is, are you working like on anything else creatively, like besides acting?
Um,
Or it doesn't have to be creative. It could be literally anything.
literally, well, creatively, I'm really trying to learn how to play the guitar.
Okay.
It's not going well because I cannot like stick to things, which is super annoying. But I'm trying. But in a literal sense, I'm working on taking acting classes, which I just started. Which I guess I didn't realize like it was like a game changer for me, and I'm only on like my third class. But it really did change like so much for me, and I didn't think that that it would. It kind of changed my perspective like on life, and I feel like more sure of what I'm doing now. So yeah, just working on acting and the basics because I've never taken an acting class before. I've never been able to afford it, so finally I worked for 6 months to be able to save up. So that was kind of like a big deal for me. And the whole thing is kind of like, it's a big deal for me.
No, but that's really good. Cool that you know found that acting class and are getting fulfillment from that, because I feel like creatively, like especially actors, because even in the project like we worked on together, like I could tell, like even though a lot of your lines were like one line or two lines, like you put a lot of emotion behind. So I feel like intuitively you already like knew how to act intuitively. Now you just have like structure and like someone to give you feedback on how to portray things. But
thank you. It does feel that way too. It just feels like when I go based on like what I think is right, I feel like maybe like that's not like good enough. That's kind of what it feels like. So having a foundation, it actually kind of takes like the pressure off of me that I'm like, okay, I'm not doing all of this wrong. It's the teacher's fault now. So like, yeah, it's been better.
No, that's great. What is your biggest success this month?
Starting acting classes. I kind of sound like a broken record, but that is definitely starting those classes.
No, I love that. So you also mentioned guitar. Like, is it just because I'm also like trying to teach myself how to play guitar, and it is hard. So,
it's so hard, and I'm not like making it easier for myself because I'm not learning acoustic. I want to learn how to play the electric guitar first because I really want to. I want to play Enter Sandman. Like I really want to play Metallica, or Megadeth, and so yeah, it's not going well. And I don't even have a guitar. It's my friend's. So, but I'm saving up for that too. But the acting class kind of, I'm broke for a little bit.
For a little bit.
Yeah, guitars are expensive.
Yeah, I think I spent like $200. I have an acoustic. It was like $200.
Yeah, and also with electric, you need the amp, the wires, the stand, the actual guitar. So it's like so much money. It's an investment.
Yes, definitely. It'll pay off though, because when you learn the songs,
it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be headbanging. It's gonna be great.
What would you say your biggest obstacle has been, and how did you get over it?
I would say mental health, for sure. How I got over it, it's a good question to be asked now because I do feel a little bit, not over it, but like better, in a good spot.
Yeah.
And I feel like with mental health, it's just honestly like time, because I just didn't know now like what I knew then, but I know those things because of all the time that's passed. So I do feel a little bit like the more time that passes, the more I learn about it, and more I learn about how to navigate having a life with any mental health issues that come up. But it's really not easy, like, and I'm sure like everybody these days can relate to like being depressed, and like people expect you to like have a job and be productive, but maybe you literally can't even get out of bed that day. So it's kind of, it takes me a lot to learn how to like, okay, how do I have this issue and get up and get to work and do the things that I want to do, because I have, of course, like goals, and it feels a bit like I'm like sabotaged by like some god hates me and it's like I feel like stunted a bit. But yeah, it just takes me a little bit of time to like a few months later I'll be like, oh, okay, this wasn't as bad, or hey, like I did it. So yeah, just time and like learning, because if someone says like, if like you say, oh, like I'm so depressed lately, and someone says like, oh, like just smile more, I'm like, that's great, thank you, I'm cured, actually, you know, like it doesn't work like that at all. It's like easier said than done. So just time.
No, I feel that 100%. Especially like just, I feel like it comes with a certain level of self-awareness, and especially creative people, we feel things more.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, saying like, oh, just like go outside, smile, like thanks, but one, I didn't ask you, and two, like that's not
how it works at all. And I, by the way, I did smile and go outside, and it didn't work. So I tried it. It didn't work.
That's another thing too. Like I feel like people don't realize is that what works for you doesn't work for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. And like I have been to therapy, I have been to psychologists, psychiatrists, medication, and talked to people who maybe are going through the same thing, and that advice is good, and sometimes therapists can really be helpful in terms of just like understanding what's going on. But in reality, like nothing that someone has told me has like fixed me and been like, oh my god, my life has changed. Like it really comes like just from you, which kind of sucks. Like I wish I could take like some advice and be like, oh my god, my life is like so much better right now. But it really is like just yourself, and that's why I think time, because you need to go through it to even know what it is.
Really,
So yeah.
No, I agree. I love that answer. So I know earlier you mentioned goals, that you still have goals, but what would you want to accomplish by, it doesn't have to be the year, but say by the end of this month, and what do you feel like you need to do to get there?
This month or this year?
Which, both or one, whichever.
Well, this month is like almost over.
Which is crazy.
I know.
It just started.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with this year. I would like to have an agent. Okay. I think that would be really cool if I was an actual working actor, which is my goal, definitely. My goal is just to act. Like if I get to do it like literally randomly, like at a gas station with a crackhead, like I would be happy. But yeah, I definitely want to like, because it kind of feels like the industry is like this really big wall that's like scary and has like spikes and monsters, and I would like to get over that wall and get in there. So I would like to have an agent, and yeah, there's a lot of things I need to do to get there. I probably need a new headshot with my natural hair, which I'm actually very excited about. But I need a headshot, more acting classes. I want to really learn how to audition, like, because the way...
Like in person, you mean?
In person, yeah. And if there's anything about self-tapes that, like, maybe I can do better at. Just because I think, like, auditions are, like, weird a little bit, especially the in-person ones. I think I like self-tapes, like, they feel more safe and the power is given to us. But I feel like I need to be really, really good at that, obviously, so I can get a job. So I'd like to get better at that. And what else do I need to get an agent? Like a resume or something? Reel?
Yeah, every
that stuff.
Says that, more reels. I feel like we're just working on stuff, you know, that'll help. Working on
stuff too, yeah. I want to, I've been through like a transition period, and literally the last like few days, like that fresh, I have felt like, okay, I can start again, like restart. So part of that would definitely be submitting for more stuff and doing things. And look, like we did this thing, and it like didn't. It exceeded my expectations when we did it, but even then, like, you know, the group chat is still active. I made some friends. Yeah. We're doing this now, so it's been a good experience. So it definitely encourages me for sure.
No, that's good. My like main goal with like the things I create is just, I kind of realized this in 2020. It's just like I want to help other people get or receive fulfilling experiences, because like life is short.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, if we're not here having fun and, you know, making connections and, you know, having fun. I think I said that already, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've done that at least for me, and I think it's cool that you're doing what you're doing, because it's especially important in this industry, because I think you're uplifting a lot of Black people of color. So that's really, really important, and we like really desperately need more of that, I would say. So yeah, I think it's great.
So what would you say some of your passions are? Like, what do you like truly love doing, like besides acting?
Besides acting?
Obviously, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Passions? Oh my God. This is a little embarrassing though. And I don't
be embarrassed.
I don't want to admit this, but I also really do. I have a pretty intense passion for editing. Okay. Strictly for fun. I don't think I would ever seek it out for a career. Maybe not, I don't know. But I have the Adobe After Effects software on my computer. I just make edits, but it's like an obsession. Like, it really is. Like, I just get like, they're kind of like mini trailers that I make with my favorite songs, favorite character, favorite movie, whatever. And, but that's not a good answer.
No, yes, it is.
It's not a good answer.
Yes, it is. Editing is like, I love editing too. Sometimes.
Okay. Sometimes. Exactly. When editing is not like just for fun, or sometimes I make them like funny. Like, I did a Walter White edit, and it was to
Please
like.
Send me that.
It's super weird.
No,
it's
please.
super weird. I will send it to you, but you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? But it's kind of like, also, something interesting is that I just started making money off of it, which I did not know that was possible. I'm like, I've been making edits for fucking free. Wait, can I curse?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
It's going on YouTube.
Okay, good. I was just asking you. I didn't want to mess up any of your footage. But I was like, I've been posting edits like for free. Like, now I'm making it's monetized because I post them on Instagram.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's
so
really cool.
yeah, it's cool, but it's super embarrassing. I don't share it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, you don't have anything posted on your Instagram, so you have a Finsta.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing with social media for me. I am so like afraid of being like perceived. Like, if somebody sees me as a person and knows anything about me, I get stressed. Like, I'm like really stressed.
Well, this interview is like,
this is stressing me out. But like, I'm really wanted to do it, but and also I can't escape being perceived, especially not when I want to be an actor. Like, that's crazy.
That's true, yeah.
It's like, it's insane. So I have this like fear. So when it comes to like social media, if it's me, like a picture of me, I'm like, oh, that is so, I can't. And I have posted before, and I get like an anxiety attack, and I was like, oh, like, I can't do this. Like, I freak out.
Interesting.
So yeah, social media is just like for fun, but it's embarrassing. Like, I don't think about it.
I love it. I love that, honestly.
I'll send you my Walter White edit.
Please. And also your Finsta. And
No.
I need to see.
I'll show you some of it. I'll show you a bunch of my edits. However, there's traps on there that they're amazing to me, but
yeah,
it's embarrassing.
That would okay. No, I love those. That was a good answer. Don't think it wasn't.
Okay.
Who would you say some of your role models are, and in what ways have they inspired you?
I don't want to say something boring, but I will. I have a few. One is definitely my mom. she's literally the most hardworking person I have ever seen, witnessed in my entire life. Like, she works so hard, and so much about her is just like, she's an immigrant from Venezuela. She didn't go to college or finish college. She doesn't have a degree, and she's made it to a pretty good spot, like, career-wise. And we haven't had it like easy with my family, especially like in the last few years. And she's just been like the rock for like everybody, which I find I kind of want to. I really, another way she's influenced me is that I kind of want to like replace her, in the sense of like taking care of everybody and having so much on her shoulders. And it influences me a lot career-wise, because I kind of like in the future envision, you know, being able to buy her a house, or my grandparents, they're like in their 70s and they're still working. I would like for them to not have to work anymore. So I do feel like that amount of responsibility to do those things. So definitely my mom. And then acting-wise, I really like Joaquin Phoenix. He's fucking awesome. And Margot Robbie, oh my gosh, she is so sick. She's awesome. Mia Goth is like career-wise. Do you know Mia Goth?
I was gonna say you're gonna have to explain it to me.
She's kind of like, she was a little underground, and then like last year, she had the movie X and Pearl.
Oh,
that's her.
I didn't see those movies, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay. Well, her career is what I would want. Like, I think she makes really cool choices, and she's like, she makes weird movies, and she's like weird type of actor. But
X was interesting.
Yeah, I loved it though. I saw it like 7 times.
Wow.
Okay, it was actually, let me explain, because that kind of sounds weird. The reason I saw it so many times is because I was working at a movie theater when it came out, and I would just sneak in and practice my southern accent in the back.
Can we hear it for the interviewers and the camera?
Yeah. Should I do the rest of the interview in a southern accent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, now I'm blanking. See, I do the southern accent all the time, and now I can't. No, actually, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but it's...
I'm going to ask you the next question, and then just, like, take your time.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Okay.
Is there so you kind of mentioned, you know, you wanting to replace your mom, and, you know, would you say, like, that being your end goal?
Like to take care of my family?
Or, yeah, well, the question is there an end goal for the art you create? And
I love this question. Yeah. I have 2 end goals, but one of them 100% is because I wanted to be an actor for so long, and for some reason it never occurred to me that it's like a living and you can actually make money off of it. So there was just one day where I was like, oh wait, like I can do this and make money. Like, that's awesome. I really love money. Like, I don't have much of it, but I'm very greedy. I'm just kidding. But so yeah, definitely part of it is getting enough success to, I just want to take care of my family, because I look around and I don't think it's like where I would want them to be. Like I said, like my grandpa, he works still, my grandma works still. I'd like to, my sister's working, and I'd rather just feel like they're taken care of, and I want to be the one to do that. See my family in a better place, my dad too. So that's, yeah, a big end goal. It kind of like, it does drive me. I'd say like 50% of my drive is for that. And then the other side is, it's kind of a weird thing, but like my relationship with movies and like characters is pretty like intense. Like I watch a lot of movies and a lot of shows, and if there's a character I like, I'm like obsessed, and they're like, to me, I hold it to like a really high standard. And So I don't know exactly how to like explain it, but I want to do for somebody what other actors have done like for me, in terms of like I have felt really, I don't know, maybe like my self-esteem is low, or I'm having some issues with my mental health, like if I'm like really depressed or something. And sometimes, like especially in teenage years, things can feel really like confusing and like you don't really know exactly what's going on. But for me, something that has really like been so prominent in my life is watching a movie or a show where you can like look at the character and say like, oh my god, like that's me, like that on screen is me, like this person is depressed, and maybe I'm not so crazy, or maybe this isn't such a bad thing, or just to be like made to feel a certain way by a character and having that much like affinity for them that they make you feel better. Or in the sense of like seeing people of color on screen, like like any person grew up seeing a lot of white people, and then to see a black girl has like curly hair that looks like mine, or is speaking Spanish, or is from Venezuela or whatever, and I can see that and be like, oh my god, like I'm actually like a person and I'm being portrayed, and it makes you feel almost important, because something about you is in a movie. So I want to make people feel that way, and I've tried to, or I hope to like choose characters that I can make somebody who feels like an outcast feel like less like one, I guess. In any way, there's a lot of ways to be an outcast, like race, gender, sexuality, like all those things. I want to make people feel, for once, like not discriminated against, I guess. So yeah, that drives me.
So one question like I really want to know, do you have like a process of getting into a character? Like when you say for, I guess, any role or future roles, like what would be your process as to like getting into that character's shoes and that character's mind?
I'd say I try to see what's actually in the script, like what's written specifically for the character, like what traits are there, like if they identify a certain way, or especially the things that are like important to the character and like the story, and also see where there's like space for me to fill in those blanks, because I have a lot of opinions that I want to put into the character. Like there's a character I'm gonna like, actually I need to like relax with it, but like I put a lot of myself into it, I think maybe a little too much, but yeah, then I think filling in those blanks is like where I think everybody has the most like fun with it, and to me like that, those blanks come with like their home life, their family, where they came from, like what their day-to-day looks like. I try to like have an idea and understanding of all that, and then of course how it like coincides with the plot of the story and what the end goal is and where my character starts and where my character ends, and go from there and try to keep it in mind while I'm doing it. Yeah.
That seems kind of complicated, but yeah, that's why
yeah.
you know you're the actor.
Yeah, it is a little complicated. Too long.
What would the title to a film about your life be?
It would be Yikes. Just yikes.
Yikes. One word, one title, or one word
Yikes!
title,
Exclamation point.
like Jordan Peele.
Yeah, yikes. And like a face going like on the poster.
What would that-
Don't watch this.
No. Damn, that. What would that be about? Just why,
Oh my
why
God.
yikes?
Oh my God, because of everything I've ever done, literally ever, because I feel like there's gonna be like two halves of my life, like when I'm stuck where I am and when I'm where I wanna be. And this half is, no, I'm in the transition period. I'm feeling good now. But the other half is
Like everything before this.
everything before this right now, today, is just like, and like also a movie about your life, like who wants that?
I mean, every director. I feel like every director's done it at some point.
Have they? I haven't seen many of those, but there would be a lot of scenes of me just like on my phone and not being
Editing.
I would be editing I think the runtime would be like 8 hours, and like 7 hours of it would be me making edits. And what else? A lot of scenes of no, I don't know why I'm thinking back to like high school, but I was weird. Like I was really weird, but like in an embarrassing way, not a cool quirky character in an indie movie type of way. Like it was it was weird. So yeah, a lot of scenes of me like eating chips at home. That's all I've done for like my entire life. Yeah, it'd be great. Actually, it might be kind of awesome.
You know, I would watch. It's a movie I would watch.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, that makes me feel better. That's good. Thank you.
What art form do you feel like helps you make sense of your life and the world around you? I mean, yeah, and if so, in what ways?
Okay. I feel like this interview is coming at a divine intervention time because I've recently started feeling like this. Definitely acting. Like I mentioned before, starting my acting classes was a game changer because it just, I don't know why, it just like changed my perspective on like everything. I was going through my life by like my own perception of things, but never putting myself out there to actually experience it. So yeah, because I'm just like so introverted, and I'm just like that a type of person that like lives in my head rather than like going out and experiencing things and stuff like that. So a lot of what I thought acting was, I had never actually done it. It was just what I perceived it as. So when I actually got into that class, I was like, oh my God, this is what people are talking about when they're happy. Like this is a good feeling. It was like also it was so fulfilling to like realize that I was right about what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was so right. I was very correct at that, like, and also I've had so many concerns about going into acting in terms of like, am I good enough? Am I gonna make it? Or like stupid shit like that. And then like when I started doing it, I was like, wait, like who cares? Like I just like I said, I would act in a gas station like with a crackhead. Like it doesn't matter. It really any scene, like, well, no, okay, not any scene. Something wholesome. Respectable. But so yeah, like none of that mattered, and I'm like a little bit like crazy when it comes to this, but like I would be like, you need an agent by January 25th. It's like the most like unattainable goals. So much pressure. I'm like, I need to like support my family by the end of this year. I need to make millions of dollars. Like that's like so crazy and unrealistic too. So when I like acting, it made me feel like, okay, like the place that I am in my life is not as terrible as I'm making it out to be. Just because I'm not exactly where I see myself in like 10 years doesn't mean that I'm failing like right now. And that was a big thing for me because I don't know, I guess I'm just like a worrier, and like all day every day I'd be like, oh my God, like I'm not in a movie. But like having that class made me feel like it doesn't matter at all. And you know, the class is once a week, and it makes me feel like, okay, I'm taking my life like day by day, week by week, and it's okay to take my time. I'm not running out of time. I'm not 80, you know, I'm 19. I'm literally so young, but I feel like I'm running out of time. So it definitely acting just like has relieved that stress, and for going so long not feeling good, to feel that now, but because of acting, it is like the most fulfilling thing I've ever felt, really. So that feels nice, and I feel like I've like deserved that feeling for a while, but it came when I needed it, so it's okay.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, one thing that was like going on in my head as we were talking is like, we're exactly where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And as long as we're taking action towards, where we want to be, it'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
And it took me too long to realize that.
It's not, but it didn't. So.
Exactly. And also what I was saying before about time. Like, I didn't know that 3 months ago, so how could I possibly have fixed myself back then? Like, I know that now. I didn't know I would know that, but I do. So yeah, just time, and I'm sort of practicing like relaxing and what you said, like that we're exactly where we need to be, for sure.
So in what ways hopefully you can be heard, but in what ways does your childhood and where you grew up inspire, the characters you play? You kind of mentioned
the characters?
Or the original question is through the art you create, but since I feel like your main focus is acting, so I don't want to carry it towards acting, but if you have other ways you express yourself, like, definitely.
Where I came from influence?
In what ways does your childhood and where you grew up inspire your art?
Oh, okay. Kind of going back to what I said before, my childhood, my past and who I am and what I've been through is kind of what I look for in other characters. I do like to relate to the character that I'm playing. I like to, this is kind of like cheesy, but tell my own story through the character. Like, if I'm relating to what that character is going through, and I'm telling the story of the character, but I am telling my own story, is pretty, it's a good feeling. For me, it's a little bit more fun than like playing some random like comedic relief character, maybe, even though that's fun. But I do look for that. That's where it influences it. And like I said before, a bit like wanting to provide representation for people. Like, it's something that I'm like really like set on doing. Everything I've gone through in the past, I wanted to mean something. So it wasn't all for nothing, but I want to do something with it. And I feel really good about the fact that what I'm doing with it is acting and telling a story and helping other people. Because it kind of feels like I've just been through like too much, and I wanna use it for good, specifically through acting.
Yeah, I love that. Have you ever thought about like writing something?
Oh yeah, I have. I also, in high school, I took a television production class, which I loved. I loved that class. It was the only thing that got me to school, kept me alive. I had a really, really awesome teacher who like really believed in me, which felt like really nice. His name was Mr. Lampard. He was awesome. And in that class we learned script writing, and we would write screenplays and do short films, because my high school didn't have a theater department. It was so like, instead of putting on plays, we would make short films, which was pretty cool. So I have written before, but so yeah, I've thought about it, because I have like I'm like, oh my god, it's so bad. I mean, a lot of people can probably say this, but like when you watch movies, you're like, that was like not good. This is boring. Like, move this. Like, I'm super like, the critique is, I'm terrible.
No, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I literally leave theaters like with my mom. My mom and I always go watch movies together, and I'm like, this was bad. This was bad. She was terrible. But like, I'm like that, so I have strong opinions. So part of that makes me feel like, let me just do it then.
Yeah.
So I've thought about it, and like maybe one day, I just don't know if I'm capable of like putting together an entire like movie. But I guess that's a high standard to hold myself to. But
I mean, it's, as someone who is
you're a writer, exactly, yeah.
It's a lot easy. It's, of course, like you have to put in the work and like put in the time to like get good at it. But like, it's easier than, it's easy. Like,
Right.
I'm probably just saying that because I've been doing it for so long. But like, even when I first started, I was like, it almost came intuitively to me.
Okay.
You know, just because like you, like I watched a lot of movies
Yeah.
growing up, and it's like, okay, I know every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
So like, if you just start from that place, it's like, it doesn't matter how long it is.
Yeah, exactly. No, that makes sense. I think in the future I'll dabble. I might dabble. But yeah, we'll see.
I'm waiting to see Yikes. Someone has to write it.
Somebody has to write Yikes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be good. I gotta think about who I'm gonna cast.
Yourself.
Myself.
You have to play yourself.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, have some cameos. No, somebody's gotta write Yikes. You're right. I'll do Yikes.
I'll be looking out for it.
Okay.
Hopefully we still like know each other.
I'll invite you to the premiere for
I'll
sure.
be there.
The idea was born here. Why wouldn't I invite you?
I love it. What's something you realized about yourself through your art?
I've realized that I have a lot more to offer than in a kind of like narcissistic way. I feel like for me there's more that I can do than like get an office job and retire and die, which is great if you want to do that, but it's never, any artist has never felt at home in that sort of lifestyle. So I feel like it's kind of given me worth. It's given me worth, and I need that because I don't think I often feel like worthy. I mean, that's kind of a normal feeling, but my self-worth, it's not there like by itself. Maybe everybody gets it from exterior things, but yeah, it's given me like I have something to do, and I have a purpose, and I have a goal, and it gives me purpose, and it makes me feel like I have more to offer and more to do while I'm here before I die.
No, I definitely
That's a good feeling.
Feel that. Yeah, no, I'm glad you were able to get to that place.
Yeah,
I
me too.
felt the same way. It's like, and I feel like this is just an artist. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like I can only talk from the perspective of somebody who's like an artist or considered a creative person. It's like it's kind of hard to separate our self-worth from, and I hate to use that word because it's like, it's not like we're not worthy,
Right.
but like, unless we're not creating something or being artistic in some way, like what are we doing?
Exactly.
We feel like we're not alive or existing if we don't create something. And I hope you like eventually get to this place too, but I would say like this year, and definitely even with the projects I made last year, like I've gotten to the place now where I'm making it for myself.
Yeah.
Not for, and of course I put it online for other people to see, but at the end of the day, like, I'm doing this moment for the people I'm making it with and myself. At the end of the day.
Yeah. That's a good feeling, and I feel like it's just like second nature to want to like make or be a part of art. For me, it's being a part of, for sure. But yeah, it's a good feeling, and I feel like I actually feel kind of bad for people who don't have that, people who don't have an outlet that really makes them feel good, because it does feel really, really good. And like I said about like divine intervention, is that I have been feeling that like in like the last month, and it's the first time, and it feels good. was really great.
I love that for you. If you could meet with anyone that inspires you, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you ask them?
Oh, fuck. Ah, that's such a hard question. I think, no, I need to pick a good person. This was the one that stumped me. I didn't like think of anything because I'm thinking of a lot of musicians, but like I don't really want to ask them anything. I just want to like hang out with them.
That's okay too. Like you don't have to ask them anything. Like
Can I pick more than one person?
yes.
Okay. I would like to meet Stevie Nicks because she's awesome. That's kind of the only thing. I'd like to raid her closet and take her clothes and her boots and her shawls and have her teach me how to do her twirl. Maybe sing a few songs.
She's probably gonna hate me, but is she the singer from Fleetwood Mac?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad I knew that.
Yeah, she's the White Witch. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then like definitely somebody I would want to ask. Oh my God, I have a good answer. I would really like to meet Robert De Niro, and I would ask him to tell me a secret. I'd be like, dude, he's so cool. And like when it comes to idols, like I don't usually look up to like old white men because it's so far from what I am. But I think Robert De Niro is so cool. So yeah, Robert De Niro. I would like to meet him.
And
He's cool.
You would just ask him to tell you a secret or his secret?
I'd be like, dude, like, can you actually? I'd ask him to give me acting classes. Can I be like, I don't even like gangster movies, but like I would do it for him. Like I'd be like, let me do the next, what's the Casino? Goodfellas? One of those two.
Yeah, one of those.
I haven't seen them. I started them, I didn't finish them.
Damn,
But
I don't remember if I've ever watched a Robert De Niro movie.
not one?
I mean,
Taxi Driver?
I saw Heat. Part of Heat.
Okay.
Saw some of Heat. Didn't finish it.
Joker?
He was in Joker? Robert De Niro?
Yes!
He was in Joker.
I mean,
Did
he
I
gets
watch Joker?
shot, but...
Did I watch Joker?
Oh, spoiler alert.
No, I think I did. I don't remember.
He's in that. And he's just cool. I don't know. Something about him is just like... And part of the appeal is like how little I know about him and how far he is from me. Like, what is he, like 70 or something?
I think so.
He probably is. Like
he has to be up there.
he has... I bet he has so much wisdom. I would like to hear it. Yeah. Robert De Niro.
I would actually like to sit in on that.
Yeah,
conversation.
you're invited.
What wakes you up in the morning?
My cat. Like, the literal answer, my cat scratches me until I wake up at like 8 or 9 in the morning. That's how I got here. I woke up at 9 because of my cat. But in like a deep answer, what wakes me up? You know, I don't really like my day if I'm working. It's not. Having a full-time minimum wage job has to be the most degrading experience that a human can go through. It really does. It's terrible. So that doesn't wake me up. But, you know, if I know I'm acting that day, that'll wake me up. It really will. It's kind of like, I'm talking about it too much, actually, how much I like acting. But it's just like, I guess I get like hyper fixated on things, like, very deeply in an unhealthy way.
There's a hawk flying above us, and
oh shit!
I'm like a big believer in like signs.
Really?
The universe. And
Me
shit.
too.
So I don't know if you've ever read the book The Alchemist.
I have, yeah.
But in the book, Santiago, he sees like these hawks, and you know, it's kind of like a sign that of transformation and that we're in the right direction.
There's two.
There's no way.
There's one for each of us.
In the book, it was 2 hawks too. That's crazy. Oh wow, yeah. That's crazy.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I also, I don't really like search for signs specifically, but if something like
Just
that, it
comes
means a
out.
lot to me. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
No, I definitely, and like, I'm not sure if that's the accurate like meaning, but definitely, I always like look it up after. So I'm definitely gonna look up 2 hawks just circling over our interview.
And I've never seen a hawk here since I've lived here. Have you?
Man, I grew up here, so it's like
Okay.
I've come across, but it's weird because like I didn't start seeing them more until like I started like making. Because for a long time, not to actually, I'll tell you off camera because like
Okay.
it's not about me, it's about you.
No, I want to hear the story.
You
You can edit it out.
No, it's okay. I'll tell you after. I'll
Okay.
remember. So your cat wakes you up in the morning. I love
Yeah,
that.
his name is Tanner. I love him. Do you want to see?
Tanner?
Yeah, you want to see a picture?
Yes. What kind of cat is this?
I don't know, like a tabby. I don't know cat breeds.
The brown and like black stripe.
Um,
With like white.
he's white and tan,
Oh wow.
and he's obese.
Doesn't get outside much.
I love
A house
him.
cat.
He's a house cat. Yeah. I have a dog too. This is my dog.
Oh, you have a pit bull.
Yeah, she's the
No
best. This is
way.
the crazy pit bull I was telling you about.
She seems so nice. What do you mean crazy?
She's nice with me and my mom, but strangers. She's super protective.
I used to
have
have a
another
pit
cat.
bull that looked just like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Her
my
name was
God.
Coco.
And wait, I have one more cat. I'm gonna show you.
Wow, just a whole.
I have 3
Oh.
pets. This is
It's
the other
same.
one.
Oh. I love those kind of cats.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen Harry Potter, but
Yeah, I love Harry Potter.
it's similar.
To Hermione's?
I think
Or
Professor
McGonagall.
turns into
Yeah.
a cat like-
Yeah, oh my god! I did not think about the fact that my cat is basically Professor McGonagall.
Is her name McGonagall? Because
Yeah.
that would be kind of weird, but
Yeah.
coincidental.
No,
Maybe.
her name's Willow.
Hello?
So it's not McGonagall. But yeah, sorry. Sidetrack.
And the last question is, what is a quote or saying that you live by?
I live by, it is what it is. It's kind of negative in a way, but I'm telling you, it gets me through anything. Like someone could like die and I'd be like, well, it is what it is.
No, I mean, I get it. Because it's not really negative because it is what it is. Like,
Yeah, it kind of just takes away all like the pain about anything, really. At least for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to being terrible. But if you just say, well, it is what it is. Was that the hawk?
yeah.
I've never heard that noise in my life. I thought that was fake. I didn't think they actually did that.
No. Wow.
Okay,
so this
sorry.
interview's been great. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Veronica, for
Thank you.
just giving me your time today and sitting down with me. But yeah, we'll link, I guess, the project that we did together
Yeah.
below so you can see Veronica in action, and also be on the lookout. She's going to be in more projects in the near future.
A
Late
star.
February. But she's like, she doesn't even know what's happening in late February. Wow.
I do know what's happening. I know what's happening. More projects. Reggie and Otto.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah, no. We'll link everything down below, and we'll also link her Instagram where she doesn't post anything. So you can
Don't link my Instagram. Don't
No.
follow me.
No, don't. Okay.
It's not a good Instagram. It's embarrassing.
So just, you have a YouTube. Where can people find any of your work? Your editing, your amazing editing videos.
Nowhere. Literally nowhere.
Okay.
I promise. I don't have a social media presence, unfortunately.
okay.
But you can find me in this video.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
She's right here. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yay! I've never done an outro before.